Welcome to the Vision Creator Podcast, from corporate to creator, with your hosts, Pamela Martino and Debbie Williams.
Debbie, here we are again, another episode of Vision Creators, where we are here to bring information to the people and hoping that we enhance someone's life with the topics that we bring to the table. And today we're going to be talking about custom home building. So as we've talked about in our earlier episodes, I'm a licensed realtor in North Carolina, South Carolina, and I help people buy homes, whether they're existing or custom homes or resales, or what we also refer to as production homes, which is where a builder already has a community, the D.R. Hortons, the Meritage Homes, the likes, Pulte, and you come into the neighborhood and you select one of their floor plans and you build. So that's not necessarily a custom build, it's more of a production build, but custom building has some of the same kind of steps, whereas the production homes, they kind of eliminate all the guesswork in terms of the land and who the builder is going to be. And some of the production builders also don't allow you to customize, your countertops and all the intricacies you get to do with a custom home. So for those that are familiar with production home building, that's that process. But we're going to talk about custom homes.
Yes, we're going to talk about custom homes. So today I am going to be Pamela's quote unquote custom home purchaser, buyer, or someone's even interested, someone who's never considered purchasing a custom home before. They're maybe in the looking for a new place to live, and they're possibly considering resale, but then they said, I heard about this custom home building thingamajig. What is that all about? So I am going to be that buyer, and I'm going to ask Pamela, the expert, where do I start? Okay, Pamela. So I want you to give me the steps to purchasing a custom home. Like, what's the first thing I need to do just to even get started? I wouldn't even know where to start.
And where there's parallels, I will make that parallel for custom home versus production, because essentially some of those elements are exactly the same. For example, you got to have a budget, right? And so the first idea is to go, or the first step is to go and get pre-qualified, pre-approved. And knowing how much you qualify for will help determine how much home you can afford. So again, on either side, custom home or production, you need to know how much home you can afford. With that process, you talk to a mortgage lender, your favorite bank where you do all your banking, what have you, and they can help you determine your budget. The main thing, the difference with a custom home is that you want to work with a lender who is familiar with the construction loan process. That's one step that's eliminated when you work with a production builder. Production builders, they have their preferred lenders, where you work with the preferred lender, you get the credits, the builder may pay for your closing costs or have some other incentives involved. But with a custom home builder, you don't have that. You have to work with a construction loan, someone who's going to allow you to basically give you draws. So for the builder to come and take money out to start the construction process, because that involves permits and which the builder will do, and whether they need to go and also determine if water and sewer, city water, city sewer, or do you need a septic tank? There's a lot of variables, but working with a custom home builder, they'll be able to navigate that for you.
Okay, so you're saying my banker, she should know, she should know, so she should be providing me with a construction loan versus just a typical home purchase loan. Is that what you're saying? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, no. So it's fine. So with a construction loan, okay, so not every lender offers construction loans. So if you have to buy the land too, so if you don't already own land, you have to finance your land. So in your construction loan, they'll wrap all that into one. Again, that's a little bit different than production, because production, you just go pick the lot. I want lot 4, I want lot 10, I want lot, 20 in the cul-de-sac. You just pick your lot. So that land piece has already been solved for. Custom home, you got to have land. And sometimes the custom home builders will have a lot for you to build on, and you can build on their lot. But typically when you build on the builder's lot, you have to use that builder. So even if you have a builder in mind that you want to use, if you buy the builder's lot, then you 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, for the most part, have to use that builder. But if you find your own land and you go out and seek your builder, then you bring your custom builder to your lot. And again, the lender will wrap all that into the construction loan. Does that
Okay,
help?
so yeah, it does. So if I don't have a lender, if I don't have a custom builder, and if I don't have a lot, would you help me with all three?
Absolutely. So that's
Okay.
what my expertise is in the Madison-Martino Real Estate Group. That's what we do. So we are a full functioning brokerage firm, and we help buyers to find land, find builders. And I have about 3 or 4 builders that I work with, just depending on the price point, or what the detail is of what the buyer wants. And so some builders are a little bit more expensive than others, just they go by price per square foot. So, once we have the land, we work with the builder, we find out what kind of floor plan you want. Do you want 2,500 square feet, or do you want 10,000 square feet? I can help you navigate you through that entire process.
Okay, good, good, good. So I got my land, I got my builder, and I have my money for all. So what's the next step? What do I do now? Now, what do I do now?
Yes. So let me just give so I can bring context and maybe a visual in the mind. So my one client that I worked with, she was very, very detailed. And so we visited several luxury homes so she could capture the ideas of what she envisioned for her home. And so, I mean, I don't know, we visited probably 15 homes. And so, what she did when she captured those different images, she was able to sketch out what she wanted. And she essentially, she was like super custom. It wasn't even like an abbreviated floor plan. She was able to give that to the builder, and the builder has an architect, worked with their architect to bring to life and put into a floor plan what she had sketched out.
Oh, wow.
And so she had exactly at the end, the outcome, she had exactly what she had envisioned on paper.
Oh,
Was
wow.
the end result was her, custom built home.
That's awesome. So you mean tell me, so if I have a vision of a beautiful home, like one of those HGTV homes, and I want to say I want that home that's on HGTV, I can just give that to you and you can get it built for me. Is that what you're saying to me?
We're partners, so we would work together with the architect, right? So you can convey exactly what it is that you're looking for and all the details that you're wanting. Oh, well, the window is here, and maybe you saw a room or something, and you want to, you want that same kind of room, but you want to take the window and you want to put it over here. So the
Yeah.
architect, you would verbalize that to the architect, and then they can move things around to make sure that they capture what you have in your mind of what you desire your custom home to be. Room sizes, I mean,
Oh, wow.
everything. So again, it's the pricing is going to be based on per square foot. So, you have to, keep your client reeled in, because custom home building is just as exciting as it sounds. You get
Oh,
to
wow.
pick everything, but it can get expensive. I mean, the door, I mean, the knobs, everything, the front door, everything has a price tag on it. So again, if we're working with a, $500,000 budget or $1 million budget, you'd be surprised how quickly that money gets sucked in
Okay.
based
Okay.
on what you
So I have
want.
to be conscious of the budget, is what you're saying.
Have
I
to
need
be
to be
conscious
careful.
with the budget,
Okay.
and the budget and your vision. So budget and vision,
Okay,
right?
got to balance the budget. Okay, so I got my vision. I gave you my plans. I signed off on the plans. I got the drawers are starting. Well, I guess the drawers don't happen until. I guess explain that. Once I got my plans, I got my builder, I got my land. When do the drawers start happening?
So all of
From
that has to be submitted to the builder as well. I'm sorry,
the
the
banker,
lender,
lender.
they want to see what you're building. And once everything is approved, you close on the construction loan. So you can't just start taking draws. It goes through the process as if you were building you were closing, buying a home, but it's
Mhm.
the construction loan piece. And so there's only one closing. The lenders that I work with is one closing. And then through the construction loan process is when the builder starts taking draws out. But the beautiful thing in working with a builder, a construction loan and a lender has to approve every withdrawal, right? And the buyer has to approve. And there's certain segments. So after you reach, say, $100,000, the lender will send out an appraiser to come and do like these checkpoints to make sure what you've built up to this point, based on what the lender says you should have windows, you should have a frame, you should have this, and this, before they allow you to start taking additional money out. So then they send out their people and they make sure all of those checks and balances are there before they release any additional money. Now, again, the lender has their checks and balances, and
Mhm.
each draw that comes out, the buyer has to sign off on that as well,
Oh,
because
that's good.
at the end of the day, they're responsible, for the mortgage once the home is complete. So you just want
Okay.
to make sure that, the builder is not, if we're only supposed to be at 150,000, but you're at 300,000, we're already over budget and we're only
Mm.
3 months in. So you want to just make sure that everything is lining up. And
Mhm.
as an agent, you work with the lender and you work with the builder, but there's some things that you're not privy to because that's like the financial piece. And
Gotcha.
depending on how open the buyer is and how much they want you involved in their finances, you may not be privy to that piece of it, but you always have a voice
Okay.
in saying to your client, hey, where is the lender saying you should be, or just making sure that you're providing those checks and balances as well to your client.
Okay. So you'll keep me honest, is what you're saying. You'll stay on top of everybody to make sure all the T's are crossed, everything is aligned. You'll keep that whole process under
Absolutely.
your care. Okay, so I got my okay, so my loan is signed off and I started to do draws and the construction process is starting to happen. What should I be doing at this point now, since the ground is broken, the foundation is laid, and now the walls are coming up? What should I be doing? Like, what's happening next? What's going on?
Most people will be like visiting the land every week to see what progress has been made, right? Because it's so exciting. And so when you start seeing that vision come to life, just depending on, your life situation, you might be like, oh, I'm going to start looking for furniture, or you're just starting to imagine the space with furniture in there, maybe some paint, or just again, it's a beautiful thing to have a vision and see that thing come alive. And so it just depends on where you are in that process. But mainly, as the house is being constructed, you definitely want to go and visit the site to ensure that what you're building is exactly what you're getting. So like my client, she was very detailed. She was there with measuring tape, making sure the room sizes were exactly what she
Mhm.
asked for. And so because it's easy, right? If that's not your expertise, I mean, well, 10 by 10, I guess it's a 10 by 10. The builder said it's a 10 by 10. It looks like a 10 by 10, I guess. But in just ensuring that you're getting the space that you're paying for.
Wow, that's great. So when you said vision, I saw the vision create her behind you. And I was like, wow, that's, pretty cool. So what if I'm remote? What if, I'm out of Pennsylvania or New York or New Jersey, and I'm like, you're helping me build something down there in Charlotte, and I signed off. The money's being dispersed, but I can't be there to do the things that you just mentioned. Could you help me, or do I have to find somebody else who can help me?
Absolutely, I'm here to help. So thank God for technology, right? Thank God for FaceTime and all the things that allow us to be virtual and still be able to conduct business. So I would definitely either take video and send it to you, or we would do live and we would go around and I would show you the progress that's being made. I've had a couple of sight unseen buyers, not custom buyers, but sight unseen buyers, which is interesting because I don't know for myself if I could do that, if I have the nerve to do that. But working with me, I make sure I am the eyes, ears, and feet, boots on the ground
Thank
to
you.
make sure that what my client has entrusted me with in terms of sight unseen, or if they're not available to be on site while things are being done, you're going to know just based on my integrity, my work ethic,
Oh,
you're
thank
going
you.
to have exactly what you are designing, because at the end of the day, it's my name, it's my reputation,
Okay.
and I want to make sure that you get what you're desiring.
Wow, I feel so special. So you're my eyes and ears, and you're everything is polished and it's ready to go. So how do I know when I can get the key and start moving in? Like when does that happen?
Yeah. So the builder, again, once we get to the finish line and the builder has their appraiser come out, make sure everything looks good. They have an inspector. The county comes in, they have their inspector. I personally recommend that we do a third party inspection,
Mm,
just to make sure that what the builder's inspector says is good, what the county inspector says is good, that we agree, right? And so
okay.
our third party inspector has no buy-in
Mm,
to the product, the finished product. They are making sure that the house is sound, right? They're making sure that all the electrical work is in place and it's working, it's functional. And even before the sheetrock goes up, we do like a pre-sheetrock inspection. And then that way they look at all the wiring and make sure everything is aligned and it's in its proper place. And
mhm.
then the finish, right before we do our, not necessarily our second close, but before the buyer moves in and takes possession, the inspector will come back out and test everything. I mean, just everything, the voltage, water pressure, everything, to make sure that the everything is working as designed.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. So you really are my protector, huh? You really got my back, huh, Pamela? Boy,
I
they're
have
not
your
nothing's
back.
going to get past you. I think that's an excellent idea to bring out a third party to inspect. So that way, when you get to the final walkthrough, right, there is going to be a final walkthrough.
There is a final walkthrough. And let me
Mhm,
just say this about inspectors. So people, and you can see why someone would say, well, we don't need an inspector. It's a brand new property. So they
mhm.
think because it's brand new, everything works perfect. And
Yeah.
I have done so many new construction builds with my clients, and we have a list of inspection items. You would think three people lived in a house,
Oh wow.
three owners. It is sometimes very scary, and it
Oh, wow.
that can definitely hold up a closing if you're doing a new construction. Like, you cannot close, well, I'm not going to allow my clients to close until these items are addressed, because once you close and you move in, sometimes the builder can be like, well, because their whole idea is just to get you in the house.
Yeah.
But you can hold this inspection report over and say, no, I'm not moving in until these items are addressed. And because it's
Mm,
new construction, they are obligated to make things right. They're
wow.
obligated.
Wow. This feels really scary though. But when I hear you talk about it, I feel confident. I guess you would just have to hold my hand through the whole process. So I'll know that I can get to the end of it because it seems so scary. So once we get to closing and of course we're going to pass the walkthrough because you've held my hand through the whole process. Then what is there anything left for me to do at that point? I mean, do you help me? Like you talked about decorating and all that stuff. Do you have connects that can help with the interior decorating?
Absolutely. I do.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I've been doing this since 2008. So over that time frame, I've built a lot of relationships.
Okay.
And so, for instance, at closing, I typically put my cleaning people, cleaning
Okay.
service, I put their card in every one of my clients' um, closing gift, just so that, again, if they, if someone doesn't know where to start, if they did not have that service before, and they trust me as their, a trusted advisor, then and they're working for me, then there's already a level of trust that you have hiring someone who's already done work for me. And so, I have built a network of people. And so my cleaning team, they have received a lot of business just based on
Oh,
me
wow.
putting their card in my closing gift.
Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, that I feel so confident now. I feel like I'm gonna move into a beautiful, clean, decorated house, and all the things. So is there anything, did we miss anything or did we pretty much cover all the big ticket? I,
No,
I
so
know
let's
there's more
go.
detail, right? So you
Oh,
could
for
give
sure.
more detail at some point. How would I, if I need more detail, what would I do? How would I get it?
So you can always reach out to me. You can reach me at pmartino@pamelamartino.com. The Madison-Martino Real Estate Group is the name of my firm. My telephone number is 704-562-4447. You can find me on Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook under the Madison-Martino Real Estate Group.
Okay. Well, I feel good. Thank you for letting me be your ideal customer. I really enjoyed that.
Absolutely.
Now I really feel like I can go get a custom home now. I really feel, wow, with my trusted partner in crime.
Well,
Anything. That was great. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you
let
for
me
letting
just
me be
say
your
that,
husband.
let me just say that it seems real streamlined based on our conversation, which is I streamlined it for our clients or for our viewers and clients who may be interested, but it is a very detailed process and it's not for the faint at heart because it's, like I said, you're picking out doorknobs. The intricate detailed things. And so you definitely got to have the stamina. But we have a full-blown um, deck, PowerPoint deck, where I've outlined several steps. It's still condensed, but it's 5 steps. We'll make that available as well to our viewers and listeners. And so they can go on our YouTube page and that will be accessible to them there.
Okay, great. I think we've covered it all. But as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe to all the things, all the channels.
For additional
Okay.
details, like I said, our listeners, they can always reach out to me. And I'm always available to help, and not just with custom homes, but with new construction, with resales, with sellers wanting to sell. Our real estate firm covers all areas of real estate as well, land purchasing as well.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, we're signing off, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks so much for joining.